As December 2025 approaches, meteorologists across Eurasia are issuing an unusually confident and urgent warning. This isn't just another seasonal forecast. There's a growing consensus among experts that the continent is on the brink of a winter unlike any in recent memory. The data is compelling, and the tone is unmistakable. Something extraordinary is coming. A relentless series of severe winter storms is set to strike a vast stretch of Eurasia, threatening to blanket cities and countryside alike in snow and ice. These storms are expected to arrive in rapid succession, leaving little time for recovery between each onslaught. The primary impact zones, Europe, Western and Central Russia, Western Siberia, and the Caucasus, must brace for conditions that could cripple infrastructure, disrupt daily life, and threaten public safety on a scale not seen in decades. Roads may become impassable, and emergency services could be stretched to their limits. This is not a typical cold snap, but a high-probability forecast for extreme, prolonged winter weather. Meteorologists warn that the duration and intensity of these storms will set them apart from anything experienced in recent years. The atmospheric signals are clear and consistent, with multiple models and real-time data aligning on the severity of the coming month. Advanced simulations show a rare convergence of cold Arctic air and moist Atlantic systems, creating the perfect recipe for widespread disruption. Governments and emergency services are being urged to act now, as the forecast is rooted in a predictable chain of atmospheric events. Preparations are underway, from stockpiling supplies to mobilizing snow removal teams and reinforcing critical infrastructure. For millions, the message is simple: prepare for heavy snow, blizzards, and dangerous ice. Residents are being advised to secure their homes, check emergency kits, and plan for possible power outages and travel disruptions. The coming weeks will test even the most winter-hardened communities, with record-breaking snowfall and paralyzing cold expected. Temperatures could plunge well below seasonal averages, and snow accumulation may reach levels not seen in a generation. Power grids, communication networks, and supply chains will be under immense strain. Prolonged outages and transportation delays are likely, and authorities are warning that recovery efforts could take days or even weeks in the hardest-hit areas. This is a synoptic scale event, demanding a coordinated response across borders and sectors. International cooperation will be essential, as neighboring countries share resources and expertise to manage the crisis. The story begins in the Arctic stratosphere, where shifting wind patterns and sudden stratospheric warming have set the stage for this historic winter. Soon, the full force of nature will play out across the heartlands of Europe and Russia, testing resilience and unity in the face of a truly formidable season. To grasp the threat, look to the stratospheric polar vortex, a vast, spinning reservoir of Arctic cold high above the North Pole. When strong, the vortex locks frigid air over the Arctic, keeping winters milder in Europe and North America. But when disrupted by atmospheric waves, the vortex weakens, allowing Arctic air to spill southward. This breakdown unleashes intense cold snaps across the mid-latitudes. The December 2025 forecast is driven by just such a weakening event, predicted to peak in late November. The result? A torrent of polar air poised to plunge deep into Eurasia. It's not new cold being created, but the Arctic's deep freeze being redistributed. This is the fundamental trigger for the coming winter onslaught. The December forecast hinges on a well-anticipated weakening of the polar vortex in late November. This swirling mass of cold air high above the Arctic acts as a gatekeeper for winter weather across the northern hemisphere. When the vortex is strong, it locks frigid air in place. But when it weakens, the atmosphere becomes far more dynamic and unpredictable. This disruption sets off a chain reaction in the atmosphere, but its effects don't appear at the surface right away. Instead, the changes unfold gradually, typically taking anywhere from 10 to 30 days to fully work their way down through the layers of the atmosphere. During this period, meteorologists closely monitor subtle shifts in wind patterns and temperature anomalies, searching for early signs of what's to come. As the stratospheric signal descends, it triggers a persistent negative phase of the North Atlantic Oscillation, or NAO. This is a crucial turning point, as the NAO's phase can dramatically alter the path of storms and the distribution of cold air across Europe and Asia. A negative NAO weakens the jet stream, causing it to meander and lose its usual strength. This opens the door for Siberian cold to surge westward. allowing frigid air masses to escape their Arctic confines and sweep across vast stretches of land. The Siberian High, a massive dome of cold, dense air, expands in response, pushing frigid air across Russia and into Europe. This expansion can lead to prolonged cold spells, heavy snowfall, and a dramatic transformation of the winter landscape. This sequence, vortex weakening, negative NAO, Siberian high expansion, has been observed many times before, and is highly predictable. It's this well-understood chain of events that underpins the high confidence in this year's forecast, giving meteorologists a rare sense of certainty. While minor factors like a weak La Niña are present, they play only a supporting role compared to this powerful atmospheric linkage. The main drivers are clear, and their signals are unmistakable. The entire system is aligning for a major, foreseeable, extreme weather event. The ingredients for a significant cold outbreak are all coming together, setting the stage for potentially historic winter conditions across Eurasia. Each step in this atmospheric process follows logically from the last, making this one of the most reliable long-range forecasts in recent memory. The science behind it is robust, and the signals are strong. The stage is set for a dramatic shift in Eurasian weather, with the potential for widespread impacts that will be felt for weeks to come. The main event is a colossal clash between two air masses, Siberian cold surging West Atlantic moisture pushing east. The Siberian high drives dense frigid air across the Urals, while Atlantic cyclones bring moisture-laden air from the west. Where they meet, the temperature contrast fuels intense uplift, generating heavy snowfall and blizzards. The sharper the gradient, the more severe the storms. December 2025 promises an exceptionally sharp divide. Strong winds and blinding snow will create hazardous blizzard conditions, isolating communities and paralyzing transport. This collision zone will be the epicenter of the most powerful winter weather on the planet. The threat is not just cold, but a dynamic, storm-generating system. The Caucasus Mountains face a unique and extreme risk. Moisture-rich cyclones from the Mediterranean and Black Sea will be funneled into the southern slopes, forced upward by the mountains. Orographic lift will unleash extraordinary snowfall, measured in meters, not centimeters. Mountain passes will be buried, villages isolated, and infrastructure strained to the breaking point. Avalanche risk will skyrocket as fresh snow piles atop old, threatening roads and settlements. Emergency services will battle both snow and the constant danger of deadly slides. When spring arrives, the melting snowpack could trigger devastating floods downstream. The Caucasus will endure both immediate and long-term hazards from this winter siege. Western and central Russia will be ground zero for the direct clash of Siberian cold and Atlantic moisture. Prolonged blizzards will bring whiteout conditions, halting movement and endangering lives. A more insidious threat looms, rain falling on deep snow, then freezing as Arctic air returns. This creates a heavy, ice-laden snowpack that can crush power lines, snap trees, and cripple infrastructure. The result, widespread, long-lasting power outages and impassable roads. Forecast models show a high probability of these destructive ice events as brief warm pulses precede renewed deep freezes. Residents and authorities must prepare for both blinding blizzards and infrastructure-shattering ice. This dual threat will test the region's resilience like never before. The greatest danger may be societal, the warming winter paradox. Years of milder winters have bred complacency, budgets cut, preparedness waning, and public memory of severe cold fading. Infrastructure untested by harsh conditions may fail when true winter returns. Emergency services and supply chains could be quickly overwhelmed. The paradox. While average winters are warmer, the potential for extreme cold remains. When the Arctic's deep freeze is unleashed, a society unprepared for old realities faces amplified disruption. The storms ahead are a stress test for a population lulled by a milder climate. Even in a warming world, devastating winter onslaughts remain a real and present danger. This forecast marks a leap in meteorological science, from vague seasonal outlooks to precise actionable warnings. By tracking the atmospheric chain from stratosphere to surface, scientists can now pinpoint high-impact windows weeks in advance. The December 2025 event is not random, but a predictable sequence: vortex weakening, NAO shift, Siberian high expansion, and storm formation. This new precision transforms forecasting into a vital tool for risk management. Authorities and the public can now prepare for specific threats, not just general trends. The ability to foresee and act on these windows of vulnerability is a game changer. Science now offers clear, timely warnings for nature's most disruptive events. With this unprecedented warning, the focus must shift from prediction to action. The time for speculation is over. Now, every moment counts. Authorities and citizens alike must recognize the gravity of the situation and respond decisively. This is not just another winter storm. This is a challenge that demands unity, preparation, and swift adaptation. Governments and municipalities must activate emergency plans, mobilize resources, and prepare shelters now. Coordination between agencies is crucial to ensure that vulnerable populations, such as the elderly, children, and those with special needs, are protected. Local leaders must communicate clearly and frequently, providing updates and guidance as the situation evolves. Power utilities should be on high alert, ready to repair damage from ice and wind. Crews must be strategically positioned and backup systems tested to minimize outages. Every effort should be made to keep critical infrastructure running, from hospitals to emergency communication networks. The public must stock up on essentials, secure homes, and have alternative heat and light sources ready. Families should review emergency plans, check on neighbors, and ensure pets are safe. Simple steps taken now, like insulating pipes and charging devices, can make a significant difference. Travel should be minimized. During the storm's peak, staying indoors will save lives. Avoid unnecessary risks, and heed all official advisories. Emergency services may be stretched thin, so self-reliance is key. Transportation networks will be severely disrupted. Major roads and airports may close. Plan ahead for delays, and make alternate arrangements if travel is absolutely necessary. Patience and flexibility will be essential in the days ahead. The forecast is a rare gift of time. Use it to prepare, not panic. Take advantage of these precious hours to safeguard your loved ones and your community. Understanding the science and acting on the warning can dramatically reduce harm. Stay informed, share information, and support one another as the storm approaches. The storms of December 2025 will test resilience across Eurasia. Communities that work together, plan ahead, and remain vigilant will weather the crisis far better than those who ignore the warning. Our response now will determine how we weather the coming winter. The choices we make in these critical hours will echo throughout the season. Let's meet this challenge with courage, compassion, and resolve.